Today, I'm going to show you data that could mean that this altcoin super cycle may last for way, way, way longer than we expect. In fact, I have data that may show us that the altcoin super cycle may last a couple of years. And if that is indeed the case, we need to know how to trade it. So whatever you do, don't miss today's show and stay tuned until the end, because today is Friday. And on Fridays, we banter. Welcome back, guys. I'm Crypto Man Run, and I come to you every single day at 10 a.m. EST. And I bring you crypto love and crypto wisdom. And you know what else I bring you? I bring you these. See these? Well, these are the banter bags. And if you want the banter bags, all you need to do is like, subscribe, bell button, and share this content. You know why? Because not only when you like, subscribe, and share this content, do you encourage me and Sheldon and the whole banter team to carry on bringing you magical content. But, if you like, subscribe, share, comment, you automatically get entered into the biggest giveaway in crypto history. Yeah, it's called the Banter Bags giveaway. And how does the Banter Bags giveaway work? Well, we took $10,000 and we started to invest them in some pre-market allocations, some pre-market gems that normally you guys couldn't get your hands onto. And as these tokens are coming to market, you can see that the bags are growing in value. In fact, right now, the bags have a value of about $400,000. But don't forget, we've still got Deeper Network, which launches today. We've got like almost 1 million tokens there. We've got Collateral. We've got Refinable. Guys, I don't know if you saw Refinable, but Refinable was that one token where Binance invested and Mr. Beast invested. Then we've got OCAM. Remember that that Cardano Launchpad / DeFi protocol? Well, that's OCAM, and we've got $1,000 worth of that. We also got Rocket Vault Finance. And today, I got you guys another $1,000 allocation. I got you guys an allocation into an NFT project called Legends of Crypto. And I know that Coach K loves that project. In fact, I can see him in the waiting room. Coach, what's up with the glasses, man?
I'm just trying some all new.
You like
they're blue light glasses. So basically, I was saying in one of my live feeds the other week, like my eyes hurt from watching the screens all day, and this guy was like, "Oh, dude, you got to get these new glasses." And we just sent me some and a bunch for other people. So we can do giveaways if people actually want them. I'll send them to their house. They gave me like a whole
Coach, what do you think of?
They were like, "Do it."
What do you think of Legends of Crypto, the project? What do you think of that?
Which one?
Legends of Crypto, LOC.
Legends of Crypto.
Yeah, I
think it's cool. Did you see that one, Crypto Puzzles? They got like a bunch of really, and Crypto Prophecies. There's a bunch of new ones coming out that I've been like kind of getting my head around. They're really cool. Like one of them's called Crypto Puzzles.
We can talk about all of them. We can talk about all of them at Banter, man. But what I wanted to say to you guys is, so we have another bag for you guys, which is going to be added to these bags. Now, guys, I think that these bags are going to be worth over $3 or $4 million. And you can already see that I'm not wrong here. These bags are going to be worth a lot of money. What do you need to do to get the bags? Sit on your sofa, like, subscribe, bell button, share this content, and that's it. You guys immediately get entered into the Banter Bags competition. When we get to 250,000 subscribers, we take those bags, we give those bags to you, the community. Simple as that. Alrighty, what else? So today, Friday, what happens on a Friday, guys? I wish Fred was here, because then I'd look at Fred and I'd say, Fred, what happens on a Friday? We know what happens on a Friday. Fridays, we banter. And today there's a serious banter going on. And I'll tell you why there's a serious banter going on. First of all, we got 2 new guests which are joining us. We've got Box Mining and we've got that Martini guy to bring us some new altcoin calls, to spice it up a little bit, to get Mr. Biz all fired up, you know. So we've got those guys. But second of all, I think the reason why banter is going to be so good today is because of the data that I've uncovered. And I think I uncovered data that this bull market, this Bitcoin bull market, may last for way longer than we can ever imagine. In fact, it could last for a couple of years. And if that's the case, then we could see an altcoin super cycle unlike anything that we've ever seen before. If you thought that this 2017 bull market was anything to go by, well, forget about it, because the data that I have today is going to show you that we could be in for a multi-year altcoin super cycle. So not a multi-month altcoin super cycle. What you'll remember about the 2017 bull market is that the altcoins only started running around November. They ran for November, December, and a little bit of January. And then guess what happened? In February, we had the crash, and then that took us into a 3-year bear market. But this time, I think it's going to be different. And I'll tell you why I think it's going to be different. Remember, I said to you guys that when something gets the network effect, it absolutely can't be stopped. The only thing that can stop something that has the network effect is government intervention, breakdown in technology, or a new technology that is 10x better than the previous technology. Those are the only things that can really break network effects. And Bitcoin seems to have this network effect. And people all around the world are starting to realize that Bitcoin can't be stopped. Now, I know people use this term quite loosely. Like, we talk about Bitcoin can't be stopped, and we talk about it quite loosely. But we're actually at a point now where Bitcoin really, really, really cannot be stopped. And I'm not the only one who's saying this. In fact, even the US government, I mean, this is a commissioner at the SEC, Commissioner Hester Peirce, and she is saying we're past that point of banning Bitcoin in the USA very early on because you'd have to shut down the entire internet. She's basically saying, I don't see how you can ban Bitcoin. Now, you can see that. You can see that Bitcoin is gaining such momentum that the same asset that in 2017 people were so skeptical about, well, now it is getting to rival the US banking system, as you can see. So today, Bitcoin sits at over 55% of the entire US banking system. In fact, today, Bitcoin is bigger than the entire African banking system. And like I said to you, 55% of the American banking system. So we're at a point now where Bitcoin can't be stopped. Let's talk about the Bitcoin cycle. The Bitcoin cycle goes something like this. In fact, I think Scott Melker actually said it way better than I said it. And I really hope that I've got his tweet. I don't have his tweet. So Scott Melker, here it is. I've got his tweet. Scott Melker said that the Bitcoin cycle goes, Bitcoin, people come in for Bitcoin, they make the profits in Bitcoin, or they believe that Bitcoin has run. Then they go into the large caps. Ethereum, Chainlink, Cardano, Polkadot. Then they realize that those have run, and then they go into the small caps. And then what happens? They go back into Bitcoin. And this cycle has been happening since 2016, 2017, and it happens every single time. And what crashes the party every single time is when Bitcoin collapses. So what happened in 2017? We had this multi-stage cycle, as you can see over here. And then we got to the top, and the first token to collapse was, of course, Bitcoin. And when Bitcoin collapsed, it took down the entire crypto market. And then we went into a three-year bear market. But what happens if Bitcoin doesn't collapse? What happens if Bitcoin just carries on going up? It's not impossible to think about it. Because when you take something that is in such early stages of its life and has such big network effects, and you overlay that against the chart that I showed you guys yesterday. Now, I showed you this chart yesterday. This is the chart of the Nasdaq. What you can see on the chart of the Nasdaq, and the chart of the Nasdaq really shows internet adoption or adoption of the new internet technology in the 1990s. But in the beginning, it went up quite slowly. There was a hype cycle in 1997, 98, and then it collapsed in 2000. And ever since then, except for one blip on the radar, which was the housing bubble collapse, the subprime collapse in the US, the Nasdaq has been going up and up and up, and today it's at an all-time high. What that shows is that when technology gets a network effect, it can't be stopped. And that's exactly what's happening with Bitcoin. So if that's the case, then it looks like when you add that and the fact that even governments recognize that Bitcoin can't be stopped, that we may be in for a cycle where Bitcoin just continues to go up forever. Yeah, it may correct 20 and 30%, but there's a very good chance that from here on, we will never see another 50, 60, or 70% collapse in Bitcoin ever again. To make matters even better for us, Bitcoin is really starting to behave like the asset that we want it to be. How do we want Bitcoin to behave? We want Bitcoin to be a hedge against the dollar. We want people to trade out of their US dollars and say, I'm not comfortable holding the US dollars. I'd rather be holding Bitcoin. And that's exactly what's happening. I managed to get hold of this chart for you guys. This chart shows the higher bond yields in the US. So what it's showing you is the higher the bond yields, the higher the rate that the government can borrow money, the less confidence that people have in the US government, the higher Bitcoin performs. And what we can see right now, given that the US government is printing so much money, the bond yields are going up. That 10-year treasury rate is going up. I keep saying it to you guys. But look what's happening. As the 10-year treasury rate starts to go up, the Bitcoin is following it almost exactly, which means that for as long as the US keeps printing money, people will lose faith in the United States government and their ability to repay their loans. And as they do that, they'll run out of the US dollar. And it seems like what they're doing is they're running into Bitcoin. And governments can try and stop this as much as they want. In fact, this is what happened in Nigeria last week, remember, or last month. Remember in Nigeria where they said that there's a ban on Bitcoin? Nigeria traded the most volume it's ever traded in the last quarter, 1,750 Bitcoins, all peer-to-peer, no exchanges, peer-to-peer. 1,750 Bitcoin were traded, $100 million worth were traded in one market when there was a ban. I saw something today which drove me absolutely crazy. How does a bank, one single bank, take such a hard stance against Bitcoin that they banned purchases in MicroStrategy because they now deem MicroStrategy to be a Bitcoin company? This is crazy. This means that this bank is effectively, HSBC is effectively on a suicide mission. Not only are they not keeping up with the times, but they are basically saying to people, look, we know that Bitcoin is taking over the world. We can't deny that. It's a $1 trillion asset. But if you're our client, you can't trade in anything to do with Bitcoin. I mean, they may as well just take a gun and shoot themselves in the head, because that is pretty much the end of HSBC. Mark my words, today, I don't know what the date is because I'm on vacation, but this is the day that HSBC effectively committed suicide. So that's what's happening on the one side of the coin. Bitcoin, absolutely, absolutely, absolutely unstoppable. And I don't say that loosely. I say that in the real sense of the word. Okay, what's happening on the other side of the coin? Well, the reality of the fact that there's only 21 million Bitcoins is starting to really become a reality. So we all know there's only ever going to be 21 million Bitcoins. And we kind of think that 5 million of them are gone, destroyed, lost, keys lost, Satoshi's coins, etc. So let's say 16 million Bitcoins. Okay, now there's 16 million Bitcoin, and Coinbase, one exchange, Coinbase has 56 million users. That means that if every user in Coinbase just wanted 1/3 of a Bitcoin, just think about this. Every user in Coinbase wants 1/3 of one Bitcoin. There aren't enough Bitcoin. Simple. That's one exchange in one country. Binance is probably bigger than that. So let's say Binance has another 50 million users. There's 100 million users. There's only 21 million Bitcoin. That means that even at today's adoption, if there are not enough Bitcoin to give every one of today's users 0.1 or 0.2 Bitcoin. So the reality of the 21 million Bitcoins is starting to set in. In fact, look at what's happening on the exchanges. Bitcoin is coming off exchanges. Institutions are buying it, and you know what they're doing? They're just storing it. We'll never see those Bitcoin ever again. Well, at least not for the next 5 years. Because in the United States, if an institution buys Bitcoin and sells it within 3 years, they get a higher tax rate. They get an income tax rate on the profits. Those Bitcoin are gone, they're in cold storage. So now, think of 100 million users between Binance and Coinbase. And maybe there's an overlap, maybe it's 70 million users. And think about the fact that the institutions have locked up their Bitcoin. And then add this to it. The fact that every single company in the US is starting to talk about Bitcoin as something that they want to do in their corporate earnings reports. So this is the trend that shows the trend of discussion about Bitcoin from earnings reports and stories. It's at an all-time high. Guys, the reality of the fact that there are only 21 million Bitcoin is starting to set in. And this is not a short-term problem. This is a problem that's going to be with us for many years. And if that is indeed the case, then I can't see Bitcoin going down in the next couple of years. And if Bitcoin's not going to go down in the next couple of years, yeah, of course, we'll have corrections. Yes, of course, we're going to have corrections. I see you guys in the comments. In fact, I want to show you something. This is the Coinbase outflows. The red shows the tokens leaving Coinbase versus the price. Now, there's a trend here. Look at the trend. Every time that the institutions buy, look at where the big spikes are. There's a massive spike afterwards. So look at January 31st, 2021. You see that? The two big red candles, that's big numbers going off exchanges. Look what happened to the Bitcoin price afterwards. The Bitcoin price rallied. Then in February, there was a whole lot of institutional accumulation and the Bitcoin price rallied into March. Look what's happening right now. Big red candles. Where's that sending us? That's sending us straight to the moon. So this is what's happening. And this trend isn't going to stop. And if this trend isn't going to stop, and Bitcoin follows a normal technological adoption cycle exactly like the Nasdaq followed, then I think we should stop talking about a correction, because there may never, ever be another 50 or 70% correction. And I'm not the only guy who says that. If you look at the stock to flow model, which everyone has been talking about, they've been saying exactly the same thing. So what does this mean? And what does this mean for alts? Well, we know that alts follow Bitcoin. And if alts are going to follow Bitcoin, and Bitcoin is going to be in a multi-year super cycle, and I simply cannot see how this is not the case, then we're going into a multi-year altcoin cycle. So remember 2017, where we had a 3-month altcoin cycle? Remember that like petty, small November, December, January altcoin cycle? Take that and times it by 3 years. And that might be the altcoin super cycle that we're about to see. And if that is the case, then we need to know exactly what to buy. And if you want to know exactly what to buy, well, the first thing you need to do is give us some love. You need to smash that like and smash that subscribe. I'm going to just check how many of you, there's 4,000 watching, 2,000 likes. And if you want to know exactly what to buy, which basically says to me that 2,000 of you don't want to win your share of $3 million. It also tells me that there's 2,000 of you in the chat right now that don't want to know which altcoins to buy from the altcoin experts. I mean, where else in the world is there a altcoin panel that looks anything like this? Have you ever seen anything like this? So not only do we have the regulars, not only do we have the ones that you love, which is Coach K, and of course our good friend Kyle, who's probably had 500 X's this week. Him and Winston in a good race. And we have Mr. Biz. How are you, my friend? Welcome back.
Listen, I know about the 100X and 500X, man, but call me the 1000X, man, because I did 1000X on Thorchain.
Yeah, you did 1000X on Thorchain.
1000X, my man. Since 2019.
Same
Holding
here.
the Thorchain, 1 cent. Yeah, Kyle, you were early on it too, man. 1000X on Thorchain. And you know what, man? I wouldn't be surprised if SIFChain did the same thing.
Yep.
Me either.
1000X. I mean, just 1000X means if you put in $25,000, you now have $25 million.
Unfortunately, I did not put that much in. Unfortunately, I didn't.
You need to put 1,000. All right, guys. Well, let's try and wake up Winston. So let's try and wake up Winston. Winston, wake up, buddy. Guy's asleep. Winston.
You got to add me into the show first, bro.
How are you, my friend?
I don't mean to be that guy, but yeah, 1,000 times. It's pretty good. But you know, Chainlink ICO, original investor in synthetics. You know, there's been a few of those along the way too. I thought we were here to talk about the here and now rather than the past.
Oh,
Here it goes.
Listen, man.
Fired
Thorchain keeps going, man. I hope Thorchain turns into 10,000X, man. I think it could do another 10X. Let's see.
It's a great project.
I hope
definitely
so.
give you that.
Thanks for getting really high here. Okay, guys. So we have 2 more guests in the waiting room. I'm not sure I actually want to let them in because I love you guys, and you know, bringing new friends into our crowd it goes by a vote. So we have 2 guests. I'm only going to let in one of them. So one of them is the Martini guy. Another one is Box Mining. Who should I let in? Coach, who should I let in?
Let them in both. Let them both in.
Guys, what do you think?
I'm all big parties.
Let me know. Who should I let in? You know, let's test him. Martini guy, welcome, my friend.
All right.
Oh, okay.
So-
You can.
Oh.
You got an accent. We like accents. You can stay. So, Box Mining, next week, my friend. Thank you for. Now I've got Box Mining. How are you, my friend?
Amazing, man. Great to see
Amazing.
you
So,
guys.
guys,
Good to see you too.
so first of all, welcome. Box Mining and Martini Guy, welcome. If this is your first time here, hit the like and hit the subscribe. I'll tell you why. Because if you do, then you stand a chance to win your share of the banter bags. And this is the biggest giveaway in crypto history. So if you're here, then smash the like, smash the subscribe. Welcome to Crypto Banter. Welcome to our Crypto Fridays, our Banter Fridays. This is where we just banter, where we talk about what's going on in the market, what's happening in the market. And I think I'm going to start off by asking you guys a question. What do you think of my thesis that we may never see another big Bitcoin correction? Or certainly not for the next
I
years.
100% agree with that, man. I was having this conversation last night. I think that it's a completely different market than 2017. Right now, it's all institutions, pension funds, everybody that's buying a significant amount of Bitcoin that actually matters has done the research. It's and they know what the cycles are like, and they're not spending all of this time and effort, to go through all this regulatory bullshit to trade. Right, they're going and basically hedging against debasement of fiat currency, and they're going long. And this is a game of musical chairs. Everyone's just grab it up and then hodl it. And so I think this is definitely going to be a super cycle. And people are thinking like October, we're going to see the end of this, but I don't think so, man. I think this is like a 2-3 year fucking just skyrocket, and then probably bear market kind of turns into like more of a plateau, or like it's just basically like a consolidation and accumulation kind of phase until the next wave of who's going to buy it up. And that's going to be like governments and elitists and whoever else, aliens. I have no fucking idea, but it's basically, that's what I think. I think there's no way we're going to get an 85% correction. No way.
No, we're not going to have that kind of correction.
You guys, love to hear your views. I mean, welcome to our show. Love to hear. I mean, do you think that there's a chance that we'll never see another 75% correction in Bitcoin again? Do you think it's like smooth sailing from here? Do you think we can follow this Nasdaq chart, which is a normal technology adoption chart? There's nothing new about it, and we just keep on climbing from here.
Well, I'm fully on board with Kyle's suggestion that we never go down again. That sounds absolutely fantastic. But I think being completely realistic about it, I actually think it's quite a good theory, and that's one of the ones that I've been championing on my channel, being that you've got this very slow kind of institutional adoption that's going on at the moment that's steadily, I mean, it's getting bigger and bigger in terms of its scale. So, of course, we've not even had a Bitcoin ETF yet. All that fun stuff's yet to come, and that's going to have a big impact on the price because you've got more people that have access to the cryptocurrency ecosystem. So I don't think we have necessarily a bear market. I'm with the idea of a plateau. I think we have a bear market in altcoins. I think the altcoins will not maybe not 95%, but I mean we've already seen 50% from like 3 days ago on some coins. So they're very volatile. That's the joy of the altcoin space. You can lose £500,000 in 20 seconds, and that's one of the joys of it. But I don't think that Bitcoin ever has another bear market. I think that flattens out and maybe has like a sad time of going boring. But remember, we had that whole boring time in 2015 and 17 before it went.
I think never is a strong word as well. I'm just going to budget in here, but definitely we've seen cycles. I mean, you've seen Bitcoin's die 99 times plus, right? So there's always going to be a death. But something that I've seen in the past few weeks leading up to this is that there's always been these attempts, right? Like we've seen some data of like miners just moving coins onto exchanges, trying to dump the price down, and the price doesn't really fall that much, right? This is the scary part, or the crazy part of what we see now. So I'm definitely seeing that action where I see people just trying to bring the market down, but just can't. And that's a really promising sign. But obviously never say never, because obviously there will be a time, maybe if we reach 200K very quickly, there might be a small fall. But at this point, we see that really strong support going in. So I think that's one reason for me to be bullish, is that, even in the past week, we've seen like these mini dips, and people just buy them up. We touched 21-day moving average. We just move back up, right? That's the crazy part. So I think that's the fun part we're seeing here.
Ran, you started perfectly with the video that I posted on my channel, because yesterday I was preaching by the tip, like this is a perfect time to do it. If you did, great. But I think people are so back and stuck in 2018 that they're like, oh my God, I have to take profit. I have to do this, and have it in their mindset, and they're forgetting like what's in front of their face. That being said, I don't think we're going to have a 70% correction, but I do see us having another bear market, not a really crazy one like we've experienced, but another one which will not last as long, which will, wash out a lot of these ICOs. Because honestly, everyone here knows we're doing how many? Can you remember all the names, all the stuff you invested into? Could you name them all right now in your head? Probably not. So some of those aren't going to work out.
Not only can I not remember, but the other day I got tokens in the project and I was like, huh? When did I invest in this? Okay, I'm not going to mention it, but I mean, it's like, wow, hold on a second. Like, there's so much going on. I can't even keep track of it. Guys, for those of you who didn't watch the opening video, this is the video that Coach K was referring to. I'm going to show it again just because I think it's so fucking funny. This video is going to be banned off YouTube, but okay, let's watch it again. I'm going to get a copyright strike for this, and I'm going to get a swearing strike for fucking funny, but let's do it. I want to dedicate
Have fun saying what.
Yeah, I want to dedicate that video to anyone who sold any tokens this week in a panic when the market went down by 1 or 2%. Because if you did, you sold the tokens to these guys.
Yeah.
You sold the tokens
Google.
to these guys.
You sold them to Google. You sold them to Google. Like, seriously, Google is right now accumulating between $3 and $4 billion. I've been told this by the same source that told me that Cardano would be on Coinbase way before I should have known. So I'm really confident in that.
And isn't Walmart also supposedly buying Bitcoin?
Yeah.
There's the big rumor that Walmart's going to maybe in May release that they bought Bitcoin. And that'll be huge.
I think that sort of institutional support is important here because, you pulled up that SEC commissioner's tweet before. One of the things we were always worried about when things got soft was, things will be banned. China's banning stuff. India's banning stuff. We're still worried about US SEC sort of stuff. Like the fact that institutions are dipping so hard into Bitcoin at this point in time mean that, the US government can't take the actions that were threatened in the past because they're hurting their own corporations at that point in time. So that's where we see some of this strength coming from is that there's less fear, and that's why you see these dips being bought and why preaching buying the dip for, pretty much the entire time this show has been running has been a really good trading strategy. I'd also like to say, Ryan, I'm glad to see you've changed your tune on, a 67-day cycle, and the bullish Ran is my favorite version of Ran.
I don't know why Ran you got bearish. Yeah, bullish Ran. I can't believe you even got bearish at all, man. It's April, bro. It's April.
I'm trying to protect my viewers, and I said it yesterday. I said the winner is who consistently invests like they're in a bear market, like a bear market's imminent. So even though you think the bull market may last forever, invest as if a bear market is around the corner. And if you do that, then if you're taking profits and you're buying only shit that's going to make real money, and that's the bottom line here. And
I think that's fair because you look at any point in time, we didn't expect something like COVID to come up that affected markets worldwide. Traditional markets were super strong leading up to that, and we got a black swan event, and something like that. While it may not be a high possibility, it always is, and that's why, your sort of strategy there and leaving some cash on the side to take advantage of that and also not wreck yourself is imperative.
Well, if you've been here since January, if tomorrow the bear market came and everything went down 50%, you should be good. You should still be able to do what you wanted to do. That's the way you look at it. If the market dropped 50% and you're scared, that means you have not been taking profits. You got greedy. The greedy people get wrecked. Only greedy people get wrecked.
Whoa. So there's two things there. One is you got to take profits, and two is you got to invest in tokens that will survive a correction. Now, first, what I want to ask you, Biz, when you take profits, where do you put your profits? Because this is my problem. I take profits and I put profits into US dollar shitcoin, and then I take US dollar shitcoin and I put US dollar shitcoin onto Anchor Protocol, and I'm getting 20%, and I'm getting the worst FOMO of my life, thinking that my US dollar shitcoin is depreciating by 80% a year, but I'm only getting 20% interest. So where do I put the money? Where do you put the profit?
On Uniswap, I take my profits in ETH, and then I'll put them into another low cap. I'll keep adding to my low cap bags. So if you're taking profits in ETH and you've been doing that, you're good. you should be good. I mean, it was still a bull run. ETH has still got a long way to go. It's underperforming Bitcoin. If you want to see, Bitcoin's 3x from its 2017 all-time high, and Ethereum is not even 2x from its 2017 all-time high. So what are we worried about, guys? When we're thinking about the bear markets coming, we're not even close to a bear market.
I mean,
Martini guy, I want to hear your views. Where do you put your profits? But before you do that, Coach, please put on the glasses, bro. It just changes. It makes you look so cool, bro.
All right,
I thought it was an interesting point that you would take. Well, I was taking all my profits into Ethereum. All of it was just going into Ethereum, buying it in Ethereum wallet, and then stake it. But I stopped putting profits into Ethereum, being that we're quite far into this bull market. Remember, we've all been sat around here since $3,000 Bitcoin, waiting for things to hot up. Well, this is a very hot stage of the market, and so I started with putting money into Ethereum. That Ethereum then went to the moon. And then since that point, just staking US dollar stablecoin, I'm not particularly bothered about the losses. Ultimately, I'd like to secure my future rather than anything else, because I've got to hopefully live for a long time yet. And so the goal is, of course, yes, we all think that the US dollar is going to zero, but you've got to have some element of sensibility in that strategy, not having everything in and being someone that earns all of their income in cryptocurrency. It's probably not wise to have everything in crypto and just put another little bit of an egg in a different basket that earns a little bit of interest is my strategy.
Smart words. That's why I'm putting money into. That's why I'm putting money into US dollar, but I'm taking my US dollar and I'm putting them onto Anchor Protocol, and I'm getting my 20.7%. And guys,
I mean, and just to add to that too, Ran, like there's so many protocols you can make money, right? DeFi yield farming is like the coolest, the hottest thing, right? So 20%, you got an Anchor, you got there's few farms on Binance Smart Chain that gets you 60 to 70% on your stables. If you're into exotic stuff, I'm pretty sure you can push to 100. But one thing to take in mind, of course, is that if you go for anything new and experimental, then just be a little bit careful. But I think that's a very good strategy of just farming with your money. I've been doing that quite a bit, and I've been enjoying it quite a bit too. It's like I only spend the money that I get from my yield farming right now. If that makes sense. I don't really touch on my savings. I'm just touching my free money. And I was like, there's points where you can't even spend that, right? Because like it's just like, oh my God, it's like so much money coming from the yields. So Anchor is super good on that. I think you can double dip on that. Yeah, I think this whole ecosystem is super awesome.
Yes, I wasn't going to bring this up, but since you brought up farming, I know that farming is a little bit intimidating for everyone listening, because farming is a full-time job, guys. Like you have to know exactly what's going on. Their rules, their contracts, the yields change very quickly. But there is one protocol which is being launched, and it's being launched. Kyle, can I announce where it's being launched, or am I not allowed to say where it's being launched?
What's that?
I think he just did.
I think he just did, yeah. I was like,
I'm not going to say where it's being launched, but there is a protocol that's launching, which is called Donkey, DON-KEY, Donkey. And Donkey is effectively one-touch copy farming. So if you want to follow box mining and he's one of the farmers, you just put your money behind him, one touch, and then you follow whatever he does. So if he farms something, you farm with it automatically. And the best thing is that they're also building an insurance protocol, which insures you if something happens. So you take that and say, hold on, farming is a full-time job. And this protocol actually can actually help you do that. So I guess, that's probably where I would put US dollars. I'd put them in, I'd start farming.
Also buy some gold. Why not, right? Just buy some bars. It's great.
We got Peter Schiff on the stream here.
Oh, thank you.
I mean, why can't we be friends? Why can't we be friends, right? Like that. I feel like this is the problem with like all this like personalities and stuff. You got the Peter Schiff personalities.
Okay, let's carry on with box mining because she's talking. I mean, we can't let a guy on our stream who tells us that we have to buy gold when gold is being disrupted by Bitcoin. Okay, you got one strike.
Okay. You say that, but you hold a bar of 1 kilogram of gold in your hand and you tell me you don't like it. All right, just tell me that. Just tell me that.
Yeah,
that's fair. I want to see you with gold teeth next stream, Box.
You'll be like,
grill.
But there's But you guys, this is we're going through for a lot of people, this is a once in a lifetime opportunity right now. They didn't get involved. In 2017 was too short. This wasn't going to be as parabolic, as crazy as this is. For me, I'm leveraged to the max. I don't have any USDT. I don't have any gold. I don't own a house. I don't have anything. I leverage I collateralize my Bitcoin. I lend against it. All my credit cards are maxed out, and I put everything into. I'm just balls to the wall at least for 3 or 4 more months, because I know for sure 3 or 4 more months. So might as well take advantage of it. And for all of those who are watching this show, I'm not suggesting you do that, because I don't want, God forbid, this is just what I'm doing, because I see people asking what I'm doing. But the best thing that you can do is get into pre-sales or public sales. And I know that what a lot of people on paid are doing is basically taking profits and putting it back into paid, because the more paid that you have, the higher chances you are getting into these sales. And we're designing token metrics right now, where a lot of the token metrics that you will see coming up on Ignition are the exact same price as the private sales. So almost like on AOS, for example, if you got into the public sale on AOS, you got the exact same price as the VCs, exactly the same price. So when you're and no lockup. When you're trading on the secondary market, you've already lost all that 100x gains, those 50x gains, whatever. But right now, there's a really different. This didn't really exist for in 2017. Retail didn't have a chance to really get involved in private sales or really public sales, or not to this degree. But we're giving people an opportunity here to actually get involved at the same level as VCs are getting involved right now. Anyone out there. So, I think I know that I'm shilling my own product, but I really believe in it. And a lot of people are coming back to us, and it's been changing their life.
Well, don't shill your own product, and just tell people there is a trend right now. The trend right now is launchpads. Launchpads are fucking flying. It's not only your launchpad. It's if you've looked at pools, if you've looked at even Cardstarter, which is this new Cardano launchpad. This is just launched, and that one is already doing magic. So I guess the answer is to follow the trends. And right now, the trends are the new listings, and your best way into the new listings is the launchpads. Simple.
Yep, that's true.
I think it's amazing how far this space has shifted since August last year, when launchpads were not a thing, and it was all DeFi. Every DeFi and just new farming project, it's completely changed. And it shows you that, the trend is going to change again. It's going to change again within the next 3 months. And I do wonder what comes next.
That Martini guy, I want you to add there, because there were launches during the DeFi summer. It's just that they were launching on the Uniswap, or they're launching on these decentralized exchanges. But the bots took it, right? So that was a problem that that happened early on. It was just that all the bots took all the cheap coins that were being launched at the public prices, and then they put it 10x.
They were all. No one cared about altcoins, by the way, back in August last year, and I was just starting to switch back onto it. For a while, it had just been Bitcoin, and then altcoins start heating up again, and it was mad when that all kicked off first time round.
But DeFi was a cycle, right? I don't think launchpads are a cycle. Launchpads are here to stay. There's no reason that launchpads we're never going to go away from launchpads ever. It's the most fair way that people can get in on these sales. So we see launchpads right now. And I don't think NFTs are going to go away anytime soon. I think DeFi was just born as shit, and people got tired of it, and mainstream didn't care about DeFi, and mainstream said NFTs are cool, and now NFTs have taken over, and I know DeFi boys are mad, but I believe in DeFi. But DeFi is never going to be mainstream like NFT is, because DeFi is just born as shit.
No, I just disagree with
I disagree too.
Michael Jordan put $300 million into NBA Top Shot. My man Michael Jordan ain't putting that money in DeFi.
They still can't cash out on that either. It's like the bit clout for NFTs.
Oh, is it?
What is it?
People are having issues cashing out there. Like, people are making money on Top Shots, but you can't get the money back out.
No, but Top Shots is legit though. Top Shots is legit. The NBA is not going to partner with the scam.
I think a lot of people don't understand how licensing actually works with all this stuff, because honestly, to get a license, you pay people money and you're allowed to use their logos and stuff. So a lot of the time in crypto, and we've seen this with like AWS partnerships back in the Google Cloud partnerships, a lot of them are not real. You got to look deeper. This is why guys like, Kyle and Paid, and why Pools, and why all these guys are great, because if they're doing their job, they're doing the vetting for you. So when you do your vetting, it's a little bit easier. It makes your life simple, right? So if Kyle came to me right now and was like, Joel, I got a really good project. Do you want to invest into it? I'd be like, yes, because I know what quality he has. So I have confidence, and there's a trust there. So this is what the launchpads need to do. They need to create the trust, right? And I think that's.
I will just say on launchpads though is that like launchpads are hot while we're in a bull market and people are launching
100%.
projects.
It's
Yeah,
like
and
ICO pools, right? We all remember them, right? They all died off, they went away, and they came back, and now they're all launch pads, right? Pretty
Well,
much.
which launch pad you now is synonymous to like what exchange you usually list to. So now the new Binance is listing on paid. That's what it is. What launch pad are they going on? Right. So you're saying like, all right, it's going on this launch pad. It's going to do how many X's? And we saw yesterday the graphic was, I think BSC pad was 1, paid was 2, and polls was 3. And those are the main ones that people are looking at right now. I mean, no disrespect to the other ones, but you launch on those, your project's going to get sent. That's all it is.
Kyle, I have to just, so I want to just address what Winston said. I don't think launch pads are going away. I think launch pads are here to stay forever. They may not be as hot in the bear market, but the idea of having a launch pad vet a project and allow people to normal people into the project is for me the next evolution of finance. I think it replaces the IPO, and the bankers, when they do that pre-IPO, that gets replaced by launch pads.
Right.
You said one second. You said another thing. You said that it's all about the trust of the launchpad. And there I want to take my hat off to you, Kyle, because if everything is about the trust of a launchpad, then where you were 3 weeks ago, whenever your mishap happened, meant that you should have been wiped out. And when I look at what you guys have done, not only are you back, but you're back much stronger, securing a Binance investment and still launching more better projects than anyone else. So for me, when I look at that, I say, not only in crypto, when I look at that compared to the entire business universe, I say to myself, that is one of the biggest leadership moments I've ever seen in my life. To take a scammy industry where you got rug pulled because of negligence in your smart contract or not, who knows what it was, but to recover like that and to still be the #1 launchpad and to still secure a Binance investment, probably one of the biggest leadership feats I've ever seen in my life.
The best dealt with issue in
very
crypto. I think.
Kyle, this is all appreciated.
The communication, I think a lot of projects could learn from how you guys communicated, especially just because people knew what was going on constantly. And it made me, I'm sure anyone else that was in, I wasn't even worried. It was funny. Like people called me like, hey man, there's been this issue with paid. And I was like, okay, cool. I went back to bed. I called Dane the next day. I was like, hey, what happened? He's like, yeah, there's a problem. I'm like, cool. You guys will sort it out. No big deal. But that's a confidence thing with trust. You don't get that in any other industry. I haven't ever had that anywhere else in anything else. Crypto is a really trusting, burn your bridge and you're done industry.
Well, the people who actually lived in the real world and understand how business works know that you could come back from this. I mean, Chase, all these banks are getting hacked all the time. Nobody says anything. But when a crypto project gets hacked, dudes living in their mother's basement, jerking off in their socks are going to be the ones getting mad.
I love it. I think that I do have to say that's a great recovery, and I think that's one of the powers of the space, right? Where the community also steps up and everyone's very supportive. I think it does highlight we're in a very experimental stage. There could be. I mean, this is a situation where there's everything is dictated by code. Right, that's the scary part about all this, like DeFi and everything, where the code dictates what can be used and what cannot. And sometimes, people expect there's law enforcement that can reverse the code. It can't, right? So I think the great thing is communication and community, and I think you've had both of that. So just big congrats to you as well. And I think that's something we've seen as community too. A lot of big support from this entire community.
Thank you.
So
on a fun note, guys, did you see the irony that happened today? I woke up to something that just made my day. There was
Warren Ruggs.
Warren Ruggs got one asshole on the internet who decided to try to make our life a living hell during this whole thing. And guess what this mofo did to his community today? Warren Ruggs did a rug pull and on his own people. And the angel, the white knight of crypto, just did that was karma.
Yeah, that was karma.
What happened? Sorry, he did a rug pull on his community.
Yeah, so Warren Ruggs, basically, from what I understand, his story is like they have this project. What was it called? Something Moon or
Fair Moon.
Yeah.
Which is supposed to be his rug-free launch pad that he's launching, right? And he was promoting it and shilling it. And and when Warren Ruggs is always talking about how he's the best code auditor and Certic sucks and this sucks and he could audit any code and blah blah blah. But of course, Warren Ruggs realized that there was an exploit in his contract And so him and a bunch of other whales sold all their tokens before they told the community anything, pulled out all liquidity, and then said, "Oh, guys, we've got exploit in our code." And after everything, but it's okay.
But it's okay because we pulled all the liquidity for you guys.
I don't want to use this medium to bash other things. I think another thing, guys, I see
it's a great moment of karma. It really is, honestly. Though.
Bring in Crypto Casey. So yes, guys, if you guys can find more women to join the show, I'd love to add some estrogen here. I think there's a lot of testosterone here. So I will reach out to Crypto Casey. I will reach out to some other people. Guys, I want to talk about this beast and the trend around exchange coins. So I don't know if you guys have been watching this, but as Coinbase goes towards its listing, you got Binance at $441 fucking dollars, and you've got, I mean, look at that. I mean, Binance is one of them, but that's not the real winner. The real winner is Kucoin.
Kucoin went nuts.
Kucoin's done. It's done 15x this year, and this is a big token. I mean, this is a token that's done what a 3x in the last 14 days.
And people got exploited, and people thought KuCoin was dead when they were, when they had their hack and exploit, and KuCoin did a marvelous recovery. And they've actually also been listing great coins like, Hathor and Ori and Ferrum. So, that's probably one of the best recoveries from an exchange hack I've ever seen.
Yeah, agreed.
I would say Binance's is the best exchange hack recovery because when they got hacked, it was like $10. It's crazy, man. Ran if I was on the show that time with you and I said it was $30 BNB and you said, "Oh, it won't do any crazy moon missions," I did not expect it would go to $400. That's just it's insane. That's crazy.
All right, so what
to be fair, that's more based around BSC than it is the exchange itself, though. Yeah,
that's true.
Yeah,
and I think BSC took off like so fast as well. Like, when I first tested it, I was like, no one was using it. Okay, maybe this might be like the Binance chain, right? But now the smart chain is like becoming phenomenal. It's there's so much activity there. It's crazy.
It's doing four times the number of transactions that Ethereum is doing. So call it what you want and call it centralized or whatever you want, but it's doing 4 times the volume of Ethereum in terms of transactions. That's the data.
I was actually talking to a project the other day, and they've got both a Uniswap and a Pancake listing, and their Pancake is doing like 7 mil a day, and Uniswap's down to 1 mil kind of thing. So it's like their predominant trading platform at this point in time. I think that trend's going to continue on for a little while yet.
I do find it very
interesting. So what about NFTs on Binance? I mean, I know that there's Refinable that's launching soon. Anything else that's NFTs on Binance?
Oh, I saw one today. Something.
DART, DART.gold is going to be a BSC based token. It's doing NFT insurance. That's one that's coming up.
Okay, good one. I mean, anything else? Can we expect any other NFT place? Because, guys, minting an NFT today can cost you $250. I mean, if it depends what you're minting.
That was the opportunity for Refinable, right? We saw so I'm an advisor on Refinable, and we saw this huge opportunity play, right? Like, who wants to pay like hundreds of dollars to mint? Like, if you're an artist, that's not going to be a good welcome present to crypto. Oh, hey, you got to pay all these fees. And then you give them to people, and it's like, oh, look, it's going to cost you like $20 to send an NFT. I'm like, that's how much I'm willing to pay for an NFT, right? So being able to send it much cheaper, I think it's going to be amazing. We recently, I'm not sure if you guys seen it, but Refinable had an investment from Mr. Beast. We had a lot of YouTuber interest into this space. I think it's like it's crazy how receptive people are to this, and I think I'm so pumped for that. Like being able to just like allow a lot of people who haven't touched crypto to trade this and they're interested in it. That's like
I think the issue with NFTs on BSC at this point in time is all that stuff definitely applies. The issue is the marketplace. There isn't like a OpenSea, Rarible, whatever of BSC yet. And once something like that comes to the forefront, then you'll see probably way more NFT traffic move over.
Someone's
to BSC.
doing that. I saw Winston. I can't remember the name of the project.
Yeah. But I mean, it's going to take some time, like, OpenSea's been around for a while. It's going to take some time before people mint NFTs and put it on there, gets trading volume and traffic and that sort of stuff. So, I think that'll probably snowball, but it's a little while off. Yeah. When launch?
Dude, I've seen the alphas. It's really amazing. It's really good. So,
NFTs are not. They're not my favorite thing in the world, aren't NFTs? Mostly for the point of I don't understand where people come up with these just silly valuations for things that, I mean, they don't mean anything to me. So because it doesn't mean, and I don't care about pictures on the internet, to be honest.
Do you like football though? Do you like sports?
It doesn't
do
matter
like-
if it means anything to you. If people
I get
will buy,
it, but if you
Pokemon
like
card?
sports, you might buy a collectible sports
Yeah, I
item.
know. I own some. I own probably above $100,000 worth of NFTs. The perceived market value of them. For me, I don't see where the value really comes from, because when you design a piece of artwork, you can spend 3 months working on it. Your time, that's 3 months of time. That's how you would value that piece of art. But people are just knocking out NFTs one after the other, different color. That's it, 20 grand a piece. Where does the value come from? That's what I would say.
Rich people,
That
super
applies
rich
to-
people.
That
The
applies
market,
to art in general, though.
the market value of an item is whatever somebody's willing to pay for
Exactly.
it. So again,
Exactly.
but you need to look at, like, again, I keep going to eternity. And I know Nick Rose did a tweet on this where I forget which Nifty Gateway was selling like Muhammad Ali knockoff NFTs. And Nick Rose is here saying, wait a minute, we've got authenticated Muhammad Ali NFTs. So we need the space to be more legit, where if you have a license, somebody can't easily be able to knock you off. And that's where the NFT gets its value from. The fact that
One thing I
should
would say on
anyone-
NFTs is it's
Go
very
ahead, Wiz.
similar to what I was saying with launch pads before, is that if this market gets soft, then you're going to have a lot of liquid,
It's gonna bubble.
yeah,
It's
a
a
liquid
bubble.
assets
It's a
on your
bubble.
hands. Yeah.
Guys, look at this. If you're trading NFTs, make your money, but know that it's a bubble. It's obviously it's getting a little bit out of hand. But remember, markets can stay irrational for months and months. Even a year, it can stay irrational, meaning that it should go down, but it doesn't. It should go up, but it doesn't. So don't live in that narrative you create for yourself. Live in the narrative that's actually in front of your face. So if it's a launch pad and they're hot, go to launch pad. If it's NFT and it's hot, go with NFTs. Go with the trend. Stop trying to find new stuff and go against it, because maybe you'll be right. Just go with what actually works.
I think the most important figure is the money that you walk away with at the end of the day when it comes to these things, and so it's all about what can you walk away with rather than what. I don't really care. I trade the value of assets. That's what I'm good at, and that's what I'll continue to do. So I don't really care what the assets are. It's just an asset that I can't understand, and so therefore I don't make a very good trader when it comes to NFT. I got offered.
And I just want to add this here, just very quickly. A lot of my friends that do buy NFTs, they have like so much money to throw around, right? Like they might buy like NFT, like a disposable piece of art, right? It's stupid, right? And I don't understand why. But if you go to Christie's or whatnot, like you see that as well. Like you see some weird Ming vase, right? Sure, okay, like there was this like recent video where this Ming vase that was found in China was like used as a stand because it was so ugly looking, right? But they found out also it's actually a Ming vase. It's got history associated to it. Let's go auction it off for millions of dollars, right? So like of the people who buy this stuff, I'm like, one thing I kind of realized is that they can't afford it. Why not? Like, why shouldn't they start spreading their love? If they got into ETH early, right? This is what a lot of these crypto punks guys really like, right? They got into ETH very early. Why shouldn't they spread a little bit about ETH around, right, into this market? And I don't think they overly speculate. I think they have, they're prepared to lose if they buy a JPEG for 10 ETH or 20 ETH or 100 ETH. Like they're ready to lose that. So I'm happy for them.
I fully agree.
Rest assured, anyone that's buying NFTs now is rich. And rest assured that and the real NFT market comes much later, when the masses are trading NFTs with zero.
When half of
gap.
NFT companies die and they don't last any longer because people don't care about them because they actually don't really have much value, and the projects like the Bondly Eternities, the TVKs last. They'll be the ones that are still here, the commies. Those ones that stay around, they're going to be here. They're going to be the Google and the Facebook and the Apples that last through the bubble. But most of these NFT projects, guys, be very careful what you invest into for a long period of time, because they're not all going to stay up.
Guys, in the interest of time, there are 2, 4, 5. There are 2, 4, 6 of you, and there are 6 minutes left, which means that each one of you has 1 minute to tell me what you're buying in the next week. What you're looking forward to in the next week, what you're going to be investing in the next week. But can I ask, can we not only do pre-market gems? Because a lot of the viewers here can't get into pre-market gems. Tell me about
I have zero pre-market gems.
Okay, Coach, you start.
Okay, one I've been looking at that's really interesting is Shisha Finance. Anyone can participate, and it's basically like going in and it's backed by Alphabet. The co-founder of Alphabet's the CEO. They're basically making it so you stake your tokens and you get other tokens that they've actually invested into, like a DeFi fund. So I think that's a really interesting one and very well backed. And when things are very well backed, they generally do really well. Another one, Roya. Roya just had their second quarterly release. It bottomed out and it went down from the top before it came down about 75%. Projects like that are good, that have had a really nice retrace and have no tokens coming into circulation for another 3 months. Those are ones that you look to buy now for the next 3 months. And DuckDAO Dime is having a peak week. Wait for that peak week, people to sell. And I think after that peak week, if you buy some, that would be a good time if you're looking to get in that. Sorry, Kyle. I just had to say it's a good time to buy it right now. So yeah.
Okay, cool. Amazing. Who wants to go next? Winston. I saw you put your hand up.
I hate to be that guy, but I'm predominantly pre-sale gems at this point in time. And there's a couple that I got my own. Obviously, like we've been talking about the Launchpad theme. Any new Launchpads that you can get at a cheaper valuation at this point in time is probably good, not just to get access to the sales, but to hold on to the token and flip that. Odds is one that I'm keeping an eye on. It's a options trading platform. The difference of that, it's kind of like Hedgic. Difference being is that they've actually built on BSC, so you can trade options on ETH and BTC on BSC. So super cheap to do so. They've got a testnet incentivization program coming out soon, and then leading into mainnet. So you can earn some tokens basically for playing with it. One that I'm watching today is Katana as well. Sort of like an Orion style sort of trading platform, which is launching on Uniswap probably about now.
I think it's already out. Yeah.
All right, cool.
How are we doing?
I'll go
I'll
next.
tell you in a second.
And I'll
What did you pay for it?
Not much.
I'll go next, and I'll say that I've bought two big things recently. One of which was Neo, because Neo's got V3 coming. Everyone seems to have forgotten about Neo V3 for some reason. I don't know why, but it's not pumped yet, so it'll probably pump. I expect at least all-time highs, considering that everything else has seen all-time highs from that bracket of altcoin from 2017. And then the other one being Swissborg, but that's just because every week I buy more Swissborg coins. Have I stole yours?
I was still gonna say it because like every time Swissborg moves, everyone on my channel says I just can't imagine that smug look on that Martini guy's face. So I was gonna say Swissborg just for that smug look on your face, right? So
instant 1 cent, instant 1 cent.
Look, I mean, Bitcoin hasn't performed well. It hasn't performed well. I mean, it's only done a 40x this year. I mean, it's no one
it's just so weak,
we're
right?
so used to 100x's, man. Bullshit.
Just keep buying.
But why not? Yeah, so Swissborg I think is super good because it's like exchanges are super hot right now. Coinbase coming up and it hasn't moved too much, and Swissborg has so much stuff in Europe, and also Labs. I saw someone shouting out that Labs kind of listed and it dropped it a little bit, but they're doing some super cool stuff with property, which is super cool. And the other one that's kind of weird and bizarre is Astro Tools, actually. So it's actually quite low cap right now, but a lot of people use it. So it's a situation where I feel like they haven't got the perfect marketing strategy yet. But if you're looking for a low gem, right, it's like valued at like less than like $4.7 million cap. And a lot of people use it to get their data. And it's got data that's like a lot faster than other kind of analysis tools out there. So.
Actually, just while you're on that, you reminded me, man. I called out Moons on here ages ago. Similar platform to Astro Tools. They've got a launchpad coming up now as well.
Wow, Kyle,
I think that was a pretty.
So I think so. We just so one that I think is going to be as really good opportunity right now is one we just launched, Equalizer. Basically, with that one, it was kind of rushed out the door. So granted, if we had another 2 or 3 weeks to actually promote it and spread the awareness about it, it would have been much, much different. But we, just giving some behind the scenes, I know that about 50 different influencers invested into Equalizer. The team is brilliant. They're all super senior developers who've been working for government like blockchain companies before. And they're building a true use case. So like specifically for flash loans. I don't think there's anything else, any other protocol out there that's doing DeFi flash loans as a service. So I think this is going to be used in every DeFi protocol, and it's completely under the radar right now. So I think it's going to explode. Really good opportunity to actually get something that launched that I don't think that didn't do extremely well at the gate right now, but I think it's going to do extremely well.
All right, Biz.
It's not done horribly.
Another one that.
Kusama.
So I think I'm not gonna go Kusama. I'm gonna switch it up, guys, because Kusama's easy. The one that also just launched. So one that is also just launched that's undervalued. AOIZ, guys. Mr. Beast is going to be working with AOIZ as they released on Twitter. Bruce Pond from Ocean invested. So you look at the AI connection. To me, this is $1 billion market cap easily. They got patents, they got developers. They're the only competitor is Theta, right? And I mean, again, the space is big enough for more than one.
$13 billion market cap.
Baby,
Yeah.
20,000x.
Yeah, and I mean 20,000. And again, I mean, the team has been working on this for a few years now. They're gonna have a lot more news coming out. So this is one that we talk about, like things that are gonna be bear market proof. This is one of the things that I think are gonna survive the bear market, just because its utility goes beyond crypto. The other one I'm looking at, again, guys, insurance is still big. People still need insurance. I'm looking at BMI. BMI is still to me is the top insurance protocol. They're the chain link of insurance. They're not going anywhere. So BMI to me, another one that should be $1 billion market cap. And the one that I've talked about a lot, Zero. They just announced that they're gonna have an IDO. The project is gonna be massive project. Zero to me is also very, very undervalued. They're gonna have many platforms on their exchange. BSC, AVAX, Polkadot. They're going to try to do Solana. They're going to try to do Cosmos. They're going to try to do a lot of these integrations. It's ambitious, but if they do it, it'll be one of the top gainers this year. Now, I called it at 5 cents. I said it was going to go to $1. I'm gonna put the pressure on myself. I say Zero is going to go to $5. Quote me on that when I say that Zero is going to go to $5.
All righty, guys. Listen, guys, love you guys madly. See you guys next week. I think we'll give Box another chance, even though he came here to shill gold. We will give you another chance.
Just get your gold armor on. I'll bring my gold armor next time. There we go.
The only thing that gold fixes, they say Bitcoin fixes this, and you can apply that to many things. The only thing that gold fixes, in fact, there are two things: is relationships and holes in teeth. That's it. That's the only thing that gold
This is my chain right here. You see that? Pretty sexy.
Alrighty, guys. Listen, love you guys badly. See you guys all next week. Have a beautiful weekend. Have a strong trading week. Love you guys. Cheers. Thank you.
Cheers.
Bye-bye.
What did you guys think? What did you guys think of the new improved banter? Guys, I promise you next week, I promise you we will get a female, or we'll try and get 1 or 2 or 3 females. I will reach out to Crypto Casey. I will reach out to Jessica. I will reach out to Wendy. And we'll try and add some estrogen here to testosterone. Just a reminder that we only have 256 days to early retirement. So there's 256 days. If you are watching my show, the goal is to get you guys all to retire in 256 days. And one of the ways you can retire is, of course, the banter bag. So like I keep saying to you guys, hit the like, hit the subscribe if you're here. That's just going to enter you more and more times into the banter bags. So yeah, that's me. Signing out for today. I'll see you again next week. Next week, full week of programming, plus a new show. Plus there's a new show coming on Crypto Banter. Big surprise. I'll see you again next week. Until then, my friends, have a beautiful weekend. And let's hope for a massive altcoin run this weekend. But if you are out there, trade well, my friends.
Crypto Banter is a social podcast for entertainment purposes only. All opinions expressed by the hosts, guests, and callers should not be construed as financial advice. Views expressed by guests and hosts do not reflect the views of the station. Listeners are encouraged to do their own research.